So can I start?
Yeah, just a minute. Okay. So welcome back to another session of our Employee Central. So in all the previous sessions, we have covered the basic foundations of Employee Central. Then we have gone through in the last session, we talked about ESS, MSS, and also workflows and details. And in today's topic, we'll be going a deeper dive into an important topic that is going deep dive into the different objects. Okay, so when I say object, we talked about different objects like your FO, foundation objects, generic objects, MDF objects. So now in these sessions, we'll try to understand how to work in those specific objects. And today's focus will be on FO, that is our foundation objects. Okay. So in today's topic, it is actually, if you refer the implementation guide, it is coming from the topic. I will just give a reference. The topic number is, just a minute, I will just share the topic number. It is your Employee Central. Just a minute, I will share the screen. Yeah. Can you
Is
see
that for the
the,
for the
yeah,
generic object?
this is related to the foundation objects. Okay. Can you see the
Yes.
guide, right? This
Yes.
is Employee Central Master Guide, which I recommended to go through each and everything about it. Okay, because
Yes.
from a certification point of view, also it is very important one. Okay,
Okay.
so if you see in the topic number 6, okay, so previously we
Yes.
have seen the data models and
Yeah.
all those RBP, the basic stuffs. Okay,
Yeah.
but if you see the sequence, topic number 6, 7, 8, they are very, they are related to, interrelated to each other. If you see,
Okay.
topic number
Yeah.
6 will be learning how to work with FO. Topic number 7, if you understood topic number 6, 7, and 8 will be much easier. Okay, so in topic number 7, we'll be talking about how to work with MDF objects, MDF foundation objects. In topic number 8, we'll be talking about basically how to work with the generic objects. Okay, so these are three things which you will be seeing in details. And today's our focus is your foundation objects. Okay,
Okay.
so as we understood from the previous sessions, like what are those foundation objects? Basically, these are the objects which can be shared across the company. Okay, that is your job core departments, business units. Okay, so these are different examples of your foundation objects. Okay, so while understanding this, and there are, as I was saying, many of the foundation objects, those are actually pre-delivered in your corporate data model, which we have seen one of the previous session, that XML, okay, if you
Yes.
remember, okay,
Yes.
that we downloaded from the provisioning, and in that, those foundation objects are pre-delivered. Okay, so and also these are the things we have the sequence. These are the six sequence whenever you are importing those data using the corporate data model. I talked also there about this foundation data import, position management import. Okay, so you can import those data, and also we are not going that because these are the fundamentals which we have already covered in the initial session when I talked about FOGO and all, and we have seen all these things. So today's our focus will be the association. Okay, so I will just take you through the mind map again. So today's focus is our association, which is a very important concept in your FO. Okay, can you see the mind map again?
Yes.
Okay, so as I was saying in the previous session, in the means one of the previous session, we talked about fundamentals of it, and also we understood what is the difference between foundation object and MDF. MDFs are mostly the custom objects. Okay, so those are the things which we have seen earlier. And in today's session, we'll be focusing more on the association part. Okay, so what are those association? So here, association means how to define the relationship between the different, as we're focusing on the foundation objects, so we'll be restrict our focus on this relationship between the foundation objects only. And when it comes to associations, in foundation objects, we can always have one-to-many association. So there can be different types of association, like one-to-many, many-to-one, one-to-one, okay, many-to-many. Okay, but when it comes to foundation objects, we can always have one-to-many association. Okay, and
Can
also
you
we'll
have
disc. Yeah, question. Any question?
can you have one to one in foundation?
So we can have those examples. So I'll be discussing those examples whenever I'll be going to the system. Okay, and I will show those examples as well. Okay, and how to configure those association, how to maintain those start date and end date. Okay, so in a typical associations, that also we'll be discussing today. Okay, so this is the cover topic for today, and now let me go to the now to this document again, and I will just highlight you what are the things you need to understand when it comes to the association. Okay.
Okay.
So whenever I'm saying you can have one to many association, okay. So like the examples here is like so as you have asked, one to one also we can have. So this is the perfect example they have given. And the example is the business unit can consist of several departments. Okay. So in this case, business unit can be a one, and one business unit can have many departments. Okay. Suppose, let's say you are having a business unit, say, one of the business unit can be some strategic advisory group. Okay, so in that you can have a different departments like one of the department can be your HR, one can be the finance. Okay, so similarly another business unit. So different depending on company, you can have different business units, and each business unit can have several departments. Okay, so those are the different examples of having one to many relationship. Okay, this example is clear, right?
Okay,
Whenever
I wanted to ask this question because,
yeah.
as you know, I'm coming from on-premise,
Okay, yeah.
and anything that has to do with it looks like relationships or objects and all that will always be like OM type of things, or even training and training module.
Yeah. Yes.
So but you know how in OM, for instance, when you say an object or let's say for
yes.
what do you call it now, the
A00, A002, A001, A008.
That's right. So the org unit itself, there's a definition. What is an org unit? Then from org unit, you eventually can be one to one or one to many and all that. But then you also have right under org unit, you have in org and staff unit, you have the possibility of creating a department.
Yes.
But then in the regular setup, it's org unit positions, then you have jobs, before you now have maybe cost center and all that. But each of them has a definition. For EC, does for instance a business unit have a definition? Does a division have a definition, or does a department have a definition, or people are generally just free to design it the way they want? I don't know how. I'm trying to get an understanding of that.
Yes. So you are in the right direction. Actually, we'll be seeing in that system. Whenever we'll be going to system, we'll be seeing that. Okay. But for the time being, like as you have mentioned, like we'll be having this kind of relationship here. So whatever we talked about the relationship in the organizational management module of SAP HCM on-premise, right? So it is very similar that, but not exactly that. It is a much more advanced functionalities being a cloud module. Okay. So we have much more functionalities and features. Okay. But it is very similar to that only. I will say it is very close to that. Okay. Just like we do have a relationship between two objects. We define the object and we have a relationship. Those info type 1001, if you can remember, HRP table, right? HRP 1000, HRP 1001. Yeah, I can still remember those days. Yeah. So yeah. And also we do have also predefined relationship. We can't do some random relationship between two objects, right? So we can have only one specific relationship. It can be top down, bottom up. Okay, those kind of some specific relationship between two objects. It's not like all the relationship can be maintained for everything. Okay, so same thing is also similar things also we can have here. And also we can have an option to customize also. Suppose you like to add something and also you like to change some relationship also. We can do to some extent, we can do it. Okay.
Okay.
So how will we doing that? That also will be seeing here in this. Okay. But when it comes to the employee central, it is one of the key thing which you have to take care of it. Okay. So because everything will be derived from here. So in all the future data maintenance. Okay. Suppose you are finding an error like one business unit you are having, but under that departments, couple of departments also you have created, business unit also you have created. But whenever you are choosing a department from a particular business unit, you are not able to find that department. What could be the reason? The reason could be, one of the reason could be the lack of missing the associations. Okay. So from that context, this also understanding association is very, very important. And it is one of the key thing to be taken care during your implementations. Okay. Or implement when you are doing the configurations. This is the key thing you have to consider. Okay. So with that context, now we understood, I think I can show you a diagram so that I think one of the diagram which I have tried to show you last time, but this time also I'll be showing you that diagram only. So this is a diagram which I was talking about. Okay, if you see in this hierarchy, the legal entity, that is your company code. Okay, it will be having your different business unit 1, business unit 2, business unit 3. Okay, so here we can have an example like your, as I was saying, one to many relationship, right? So here, this is also an example of one to many relationship. So one company code or one legal entity is having multiple business unit, BU1, BU2, BU3. Similarly, the business unit 1 is having 2 division. Okay, so this is again the division 1 and division 2. That is again one to many relationship. But if you see the second example, business unit 2 is having only one division. Business unit 3 is having only one division. So here we can have also one to one also. Okay, so whenever I'm saying one to many, means one to one is included in the as a part of that one. Okay, so your question is very valid, and it doesn't mention that, but it is to be considered that is part of that. Okay. Similarly, we can have also under a particular division, we can have multiple departments as well. So one division can have multiple departments. So if you can remember this diagram, then you can clearly explain the concept of associations. Okay, this is a typical structure happens. But again, it depends upon the organization to organization. Okay, so this is how the association works and the pictorial presentation of the association. So as I was discussing, one to many, area to division, area to so your division to department, section to department, depending upon the organization, you have to build all these things. Okay, so these are all
so association is almost like, it's in a way like a relationship.
Yes, very similar to that. Not exactly the same, but very similar to that.
Okay, but when you look at I don't know, for instance, can you associate any of the objects to any objects depending on the requirements of the organization?
Yes, so data will be coming. So we'll be discussing that. We will be having objects association between FO to GO, GO to FO. Okay, we can have varieties of association. Okay, and also we'll be understanding how you can how the foundation objects we can use to structure our business, how to it can be related to our how to handle the job related areas, payroll related areas. Okay, all those related association we'll be discussing in our sessions. Okay. So all these things we will be seeing. Okay, how to cover we'll be covering all those things in the associations.
Okay. Yeah.
So regarding next let's move to the another section. So just a minute. So association, so these are again the example, same example, one to many and one to one. Okay, so like one to one also example, it can be a geo zone, location group. Okay, location group to location. Okay, then also we can have this kind of association. So these are different examples. A couple of examples they have given, one to many, and you can go through it. Okay, like the same example which I have. And what is the source and target? Like whenever I'm saying a source means, suppose I'm saying source is division, business unit is a target. Okay, that means a division can be associated with several business units. Okay, and there is a concept called driving object. Okay, so this is a terminology. Okay, we call it a driving object. So always your target will be your driving object. Okay, so in this case, suppose we are having one location. Okay, uh, okay, so it is a example where exactly several companies or several legal entities can have the same location. Suppose you are in Toronto, you can have multiple legal entities. Okay, for of a company, of a group of companies, right? So in that case, your legal entity, the target, but whenever you are defining, okay, so these are actually we call it driving object. Okay, so do not get confused with overwhelmed with this terminology, but just to remember, we call it driving object. Okay, but so always the target objects will be your driving object. Just to as simple as that. Okay, suppose you are having one division is having associated with multiple or several business units, then that business units, okay, would be your target object, and it will be your driving object. So in this example, these are actually from a certification point of view, they can play around it. Okay, so they will be asking this kind of questions, very very common question. At least you'll be getting one or two questions from here. Okay, so they'll be giving examples. Okay, so and they'll be asking which is your driving object. Okay, so you can expect a lot of comments, at least one or two questions. Okay. So this was regarding your association and all. And now we will be moving to the topic. I'll be giving a sample code snippet of your how the objects is defined in the XML. Okay, so this is a coding snippet. Okay, which is from your one of the XML data your data model, your corporate data model. Okay, so in a typical data model, you'll be seeing this kind of information like HRA's element ID. Suppose pay component recurring. Okay, so this is your nothing but your, if you compare to the legacy system, it is your info type 14. 15 is your one-time payment, right? 14 is your 14 is a recurring payment. And so in this example, we suppose you like to have an association. Okay, you suppose you like to the business case is to add an association to a field that is not part of the same block. Okay, so what is the example? Like suppose you like to filter the pay components on the compensation info block. There is a block in your people profile called compensation info, and based on job info criteria, you would like to filter. Okay, so how do you do that? Okay, so this is just an example. Like you are having two blocks. One is your compensation block where exactly your payment details will be there. Another block will be your job info where exactly you will be having your designations and your positions, all those details of what whether you are full time or part time. Okay, you're working. So all those details will be there. Suppose you like to filter your pay components based on the compensation info block based on your job info. Okay, so how would you achieve this thing? Okay, so in this case, you have to add a prefix of corresponding object as a destination field. Okay, so what does it mean? So if you see this example, okay, so we are having a pay component. Pay component is nothing but your wage type. Okay, so I'll just giving an analogy so that you will be able to understand better way. Pay component is nothing but your wage type. Okay, so similarly, the pay component recurring, it is your 14 info type 14 here. Okay, nothing much. Okay, if I see here, so this is your info type 14. Similarly, you will be having, so you can see there is a section called field criteria destination field value. Okay. So this is the syntax. And here, if you see, as I was saying, that we will be filtering the pay component based on the job info. Suppose there are in the job info, you are having different grades, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, like that. Okay. So depending upon that, suppose you like to see the grouping. So how they have defined, okay, so they have defined like this: job info dot, simply they have put a dot here, okay, job info, okay, based on whatever, based on the criteria, okay, that will be put in the first section, dot, then pay scale grouping, okay. So then source field name will be your pay scale grouping. So here source will be based on, means source destination will be job info, and pay scale grouping will be your source field name. Okay, so here what you are trying to understand. So if you see this in the, this is just a code snippet which is given by SAP. So here as an example, so the pay component. So here pay component, as I was discussing, this is your base type, which is a part of your pay component recurring block. That is your info type 14 block. Okay, based on pay scale group from the job info. Okay, so to achieve this, you have to add the prefix job info to the destination field. So here our destination is your this pay scale grouping. Okay, so your, depending upon your job info, we will try to achieve it. Okay, so this is just an example. Okay, so how you can, this is one of the application of your association. Okay, how you can okay, because job info is already having the pay scale details, right? Okay, so simply if you are using this dot symbol, okay, in this particular syntax, then that functionality will work, okay, depending upon your okay. So this is little tricky, but if you see more examples like this, then you will be getting. But over a period of time, you will be also getting expert in this area. Okay. So what I'll be also giving someone more examples from you. I'll be asking you to do it in your system. Okay. So like couple of more scenario which you'll be seeing in your system. Now let me make you host. Then now a couple of exercises, not exercises, but a couple of examples and how to see them in the system. I'll be guiding you through. Then we will wrap up the topic. So let me allow you to. Yeah. You just go to the admin center.
Okay.
After going to admin center, you can see there is a company settings.
Yes.
And from that, go to company system and logo settings.
This one here.
Yeah. So now what you can do, go to that setting, company settings, and there will be company logo or something like that.
Oh, this
yeah,
one?
yeah, this one. Yeah, company logo and this one. So in this section, what you're going to do here, there is a section called, there is just try to search this thing, disable filter for custom fields.
I should type it here, disable?
Just search for disable filter. No, not there. In the entire page, in this entire page.
On the page itself. Okay.
Do a control F here. Control F.
Or control F.
Disable filter. It is the one we have already found it. Yeah, the first one. Okay.
Which one?
It is already marked in orange color. Come
here.
down. Yeah. So this is actually do not disable anything. Okay. So if you are using this disable filter for custom fields of type foundation object. Okay. So what you are trying to do here. So to activate this setting, upload any data model in provisioning. Okay. So this is related to foundation objects only. Okay. So what you're trying to do here. Okay. So if you are using this, select the checkbox, disable filter for custom fields of type foundation objects. Okay. So so we have to select this checkbox and save the settings. Okay? So this is one of the object. Okay. So how you are going to disable the filter for custom field. Suppose you do not want to filter any of the custom filter. Okay, then you have to disable it. Otherwise, you have to activate it. Depending upon your requirement, you will just context. I just told the context. Okay, if you like to disable the custom fields of your foundation object in the entire system, okay, then you have to tick it. Otherwise, you can make it open. Okay, as it is.
So in these ones that have been ticked have been disabled. Is that correct?
Yeah, those are, yeah. Sorry?
This is enable.
Those are enabled. So those are enabled. Yeah, the enable means those are already enabled. It is fine, correct.
Okay. So if I do this now, I'm disabling this custom fields.
Okay, so if you are disabling it, so you will not be able to filter anything for custom fields for your foundation objects. Okay.
So I would like to leave it for now.
You just leave it for now. Do not do any changes. Just I told you the path actually. Okay, this is a path where exactly, and this is also in your implementation guide. Okay, the section, same chapter 6.2.1. Okay, you will be getting this is a kind of exercise there. Okay.
Yeah.
So now with this understanding, now we will be moving to the other section. Now you go to start searching, not Control F. The top section, you start searching configure object definition. The first one, yes.
So it's so great not to be able to remember PE05 or something like that.
Yeah, and you can also make them favorite here also in your success factor admin page. Yeah, so that is the good about it. Yeah. So now what you can do in the configure object definitions, okay? So here from the search drop down, okay, so you can search for object definition. So you're asking, right, do we define how to define those objects and all? In the OM also we define the object, right? In the 1000 info type, then we define those relationships. So this is a kind of object definition. You can relate it to the OM definition as
well. Yes.
Now, what you can do in the second drop down, you can search for an object. Just a minute, I'll be giving an example here. So you can search for, let's say, job market.
Job market.
Job market category or something like that. If it is exist, then it should be there. Start typing in job market, you'll be getting.
All right, right here.
Yeah, start typing. Yeah, job market, something like that. So you don't have to actually see the drop down value. So see, as soon as you're typing, if it is there, automatically it will come.
Okay.
Job market. Scroll down now. Scroll down. If anything is there, it will there. Job application is there. Classifications are there. Okay. Okay, scroll down again. Job function is there. Job responsibility is there. Job templates are there.
I think we have passed M. M market should be M, no?
Yeah.
Or it doesn't follow.
No. It is fine. So this is just an example they have given in the implementation guide. Otherwise, you can search for anything. Just to pick up anything. Just remove that job market. You can type like a simple example. Type division.
Division. Okay.
Type division, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, simply search that division. Yeah, click that division. Yeah. So you can see the definition. Okay, so this is actually in a typical, as we have discussed in one of the previous session. Okay, so this is how the object definition looks like. Okay, and this is a kind of, if you see scroll down, you can see the more detail about the fields and more what is the character of means length of the field, the data type, everything you can see. And you just scroll down. If there is any relationship is there or association, you can see the association as well. Okay, this is the point which I was talking about, where you can see the different type of association, and it is also this kind of association. The column is called multiplicity. Okay, multiplicity. Can you see that that column multiplicity?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So in this multiplicity, what do they mean? So basically, what type of relationship or what type of association we will be having between two objects. Okay. So that is defined here in this section, one to many. So whenever I'm saying one to many, currently we are in which we are in division, right? Okay. So whenever you are defining this association, that means one division can have many business units. Okay.
Yes.
And similarly, also one division can have multiple, whatever the custom object they have defined here, like DJ ECCL, DJ IT implementation, so that you are not worried about. Okay.
Yes.
But here with the key takeaway is we have to understand, we can see there is only one-to-many and one-to-one relationship here. Okay.
Yes.
And similarly, the destination object also we talked about whenever I was talking about the concept section. So here destination object here is our, or you can see driving object here, our business unit. Okay. So that means we will be having one division can have multiple these things, or it can also have one business unit. Okay. So other than that, in the right hand side, extreme right hand side, just click one of the detail section. Okay. Also there is so just click done, and also there's some click that 13 more.
Sorry.
There is written some in the bracket. It is written 13 there. 13 more. 13 more fields. Are you able to click it?
No, it's not highlighted. It's not activated.
Okay. So then you just scroll up and edit it. Okay, suppose scroll a bit up. Yeah. Take action. Click take action. Make correction. Do not delete. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So here just scroll down again.
Okay. Yeah.
Now you click 13 more. 13 more. Okay. I think it is not editable, right? Okay, though no worries. No worries. So basically, you can add so here multiple association also. Okay. So here you can see, just click one of the details. Okay. So like click one of the details, and you will be finding the details about it. Suppose you are having custom to business unit. Okay. So destination object you have defined here. Okay. And if it is a mandatory, you can see that is in the required section, it is written no. That means it is an optional. Okay. So visibility means editable. Okay. So whether it can be editable or it is only read only. Okay. Those things you can define here. Okay. And let's say you like to, over a period of time, you like to delimit, or you like to then deactivate. So you can do, or like this, you can come here and you can make that status. It is written active, right? You can make it inactive. Scroll down. Yeah. Scroll down. Status is there. Status active.
Yes.
So you can see active, inactive. Suppose over a period of time, certain fields becomes obsolete. Okay. So what you can do?
It doesn't give you a date.
So scroll a bit down. I will tell you.
Okay.
So here again, so effective start date, it is there, field criteria and all. Okay, scroll a bit down.
Oh, here.
So here we do have field name, all details are there, and the default destination value is there, right? So that value you can put it like on from which effective date it can be done. It can be deactivated and all. And also there are some conditions also. Suppose you like put some condition value and all, that again you can put it there.
Okay, so I wanted to ask a question. You see, before we, for instance, if we say, okay, is this the name of the division we are trying to create?
So basically the division, whatever you are having, okay, so you are having here the custom name for it. Okay, so here you are just giving as it is a dummy system, we do not have any structure or a proper standard values or naming convention we have followed here. But
I'm thinking, okay, let's say I'm looking at, or I want to import something, but let's say I want to create manually a division. So this is where I put the name.
Yeah, we can put a name here, but it will be as you will be creating of your own. Okay, so for that reason, it will be always starting with cust, C-U-S-T.
Okay. Now, the other thing is before, as you can see, there are drop downs in these ones, is it?
Yes.
Where do you define, sorry, I don't know whether it's this, I don't think it's this screen. If I create a name here, I guess this is before you create you start creating the actual objects. This is setting it up.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to set up how divisions are created, not necessarily creating any specific division. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, it is correct. So basically, those things will be in a different section. So here you are just trying to do an association. Okay, if it is already built in, then you do not have to do anything. Okay, so many of the cases you'll be finding these are all pre-delivered. Most of the things are already pre-delivered, and in those cases you do not have to change anything. Just you need to confirm and check that it is meeting your business requirement in your client organization. Okay. So you do not have to do changes much here. Okay. This is just an example. You just to understand, make you understand what is a multiplicity, just to understand what is the destination object. Okay, but you may or may not have to configure everything every time. Okay, so only thing is just to make sure it is there in your system, and these are already, there is nothing called inactive in your. Okay, so that is a checkpoint you have to do here. Okay. And there is another section just coming to your question, like suppose you like to attach the relevant parent generic object to a child generic object. So how to do that? Okay. So that will be seen in another, just to now we complete the first section. 6.2.1 we have covered. Okay. So 6.2.3, 6.2.3 we have covered. Now we'll move into the next section, which is the next step. Okay. So you now go to manage data. Go to admin center and manage data.
Okay. It's not here, is it?
No. That will be not there. Just you have to just search in the action bar. Action search. Manage data. Last one. Yeah. So in the manage data, what you can do, as I was already mentioning, suppose you like to create something new. Okay. What you have to do, in the right hand side, click create new. In that create new, right? So here you have to create, suppose, let's say what you want to create. Okay. Let's say you like to create a, say, example. I will again give it division. Okay. Just to type division. Yeah. Just take any example there. Yeah. Okay. So automatically as you start typing, you can see everything is a blank, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So everything is blank, and you can also see the start date and end date. Not the end date, basically the start date is there. And in the external code, what you can write, so it can be like, suppose you are having a division called HR. Okay, so simply you can write HR1, okay, like that. HR1, HR2, something like that you can write there.
Okay.
Yeah. So now in the name, go to the name section. Yeah, name also you can put it the same name. Yeah. So description is optional. We can skip it for now. Now, in the next section, you can see header.
What will be here?
So here is simply you can mention like the division name, like what is the function, what are the operating things they do in the company. Okay, like recruiting.
Really?
Okay, just a description, just like we do have in the OM also we have the same object, right? In the info type, in the OM also we had a section called description. Same thing also here. You can describe about okay, what does this division do in the organization.
So this is not like let's say HR division, is it?
So here, suppose I would like to explain or elaborate this division to someone. Okay. So what I can do, so I can see, I can say that the HR division in this organization ABC or XYZ, this is meant for, this deals with all the people processes in the organization, like recruiting, your onboarding, learning, payroll, all these things. So this kind of sentence you can write. And suppose as you have clicked that section, right, there is a brush-like structure, and you can also translate this into other languages also, and you can maintain those description in the multiple languages. That is as simple as that. Okay.
So I want to understand it now, i.e. when we use the what was the other module we used? We used the company sorry, what was that again? To set up the division object, that's the object itself, that's the parameters of the object. We use the company settings. Is that correct?
Yeah. So basically,
when we now want to create the actual divisions based on those parameters, we come to manage data.
Yes. Based on specific parameters. Suppose like we do this you can think of like maintaining an info type 1000, 1001 here. 1000 we have already seen. In the configure object definition, we have already seen the info types very similar to the 1000, right? We have defined that object. And here we can have like here we can do like we can explain more. Okay, like
finance. You can create a finance object. Finance division, HR division.
Yes. Multiple things we can do it here. Okay, so like you can see, these are all optional: head of the division, parent division, country. Okay, just like we do in OM also, we can see that, right? Only your info type 1000 and 1001, those were important. That is a must. But remaining all those info types, your relation means your the description or any other relationship, those are optional. So here also very similar thing. These are all optional. You can scroll it down. You can do it of your own later point of time. But here also you can see like here you can see DJ EC sales, DJ IT implementation. These are actually we have defined in the previous object, previous association, right? Whenever you defined that object, right? So these two line items were there. Okay, so these two objects. Okay, so here what you can do, so you can simply from this drop down, you can select any of these things just to go to one of the value. If anything is, just select that. So here you can see some specific value will come. Like suppose you like to assign it to some particular BU and all. Okay, you can define it here in this section.
Okay. That's if we want to do like one-to-one relationship.
So for relationship and also like one, suppose not exactly relationship, suppose you'd like to filter on this criteria. Suppose you like to have a criteria on this particular criteria and you would like to define, it is optional here, okay, but already you have defined in the object definition, but it is an optional. Suppose you like to default something, then you can also do it here. Otherwise, you can simply save it now. So now your particular department is ready, division is ready now.
Yes.
So that division you can, so how to find out? So now what you can do after creating this division, now what you can do, okay, so go to the second column here. There is a search option. Search option is there, right? In the search, not that search. In the second line, it means there is a search, no selection, include inactive, right? In the first search, there is a already division you have entered, right?
Yeah.
Extreme left-hand side.
Before
division. Now what you can do, simply in the second column, wherever it is written no selection, right?
Yeah.
In the no selection, no, the next column. So okay, I think you have to select division again. Select division, and you try to search your division HRAI.
Yeah.
No. Now, what you can do now, okay, you can just come out of this entire thing. Okay.
Okay. So
go to admin center main page again.
Oh, okay.
Manage data. Last one, yeah. Now in the search bar, you type division. Yeah, second one.
Sorry?
Select the second one. Yeah. Now I would like to search whichever you have already created. Now in the no selection, you just type HRAI. HRAI in the not there. In the second one, no selection.
This one here.
Start typing HRAI because this one you have recently created, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now you can see it is already available now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Previously it was not there. So now you can see, and if you like to change anything, you can click that take action button. Okay, then you can edit it here in the future.
This one here.
Yeah, take action. Okay, suppose due to some reason it got you have incorrectly configured it or updated it, you can also click a delete entry. In that case, permanently delete entry, it will delete your entry. Okay,
if I want to make correction, I just do that.
Yeah,
and then come here and make the corrections.
Yeah. So in this case, suppose you'd like to make any corrections and all. So it is as simple as that. So this is how you can define this object, and you can make some association. Okay.
Yeah.
And also you can do some changes. Okay, that we have seen.
But you said this is not association. This is not association.
This is not exactly the association. That is basically whatever means in your object definition itself, it is already defined, right? So one to many relationship. Okay, so for that reason, here how will we understand this? So here you can see the HRI AI is the division, and which is having 3 business unit. In the scroll down, we can see those 3 different business unit. Okay, like EC sales, implementation, 2 BU. Okay, so these are the different BUs we're having in this example. Okay.
No, but I'm supposed to pick from divisions that have already been created.
Yes. Also, if you like to create something new, you can click that plus button.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can see you can also create a new. Okay.
You can create a new business unit right here.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can create also. You have an option also. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
and what is the first option to create a business unit? Will it be under the configure objects?
You just scroll down, scroll up. Okay. So instead of division, now you start typing business unit there.
Where? Here?
Yeah.
Business unit?
Business unit, yes.
Okay.
Can you see that? Business unit.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Everything is from here only. Okay, whatever you're doing here to create. Okay. So how you can do business unit, and suppose you would like to see the existing business unit. Now you go to the second option, second drop down.
Yeah.
No. Keep it as it is. Business unit will be as it is. Now in the second drop down, you can see these are the different existing business unit in your system. Okay. Simply select any one of this. Select any one of this. Any randomly you can select which people other business people have created. Okay. So you can see, just click one of this, anything, and click any. So if you select one of these things, you can see like a code, business unit name. Okay. And also you can see the association also, like company. It is associated with the company. Okay. That means yeah. So you can see the company name. There are 2 company, 2DJ India, 2DJ USA. People have created all these things.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, before you can find organization, let's say business units before you can find anything to choose from here, it has to be created prior.
Yeah. So to create it prior, so you have to create in the right hand side, as I told you. Okay. So you can create new from there. Okay. So here also you can type business unit. Same thing will come. Start typing business unit. Yeah. Click business unit there. Yeah. So now you can see, now you can create a new business unit from here. Okay. You can give your code like the name of the business unit, BU name. Okay. And which all countries it will be present, capital city, everything you can give. And so this is how you can create a new business unit.
Okay. But then the only gap in my mind now is we've already defined that division can have one to many or one to one for business units in terms of association.
In terms of association, yes.
Now we also have business unit that can have one to one or one to many for departments. Is it for departments?
Department is different one. So suppose you are having a department, then again you have to create a department. So you just scroll up.
I know. What I'm saying is, I know, we're still like, I'm still trying to kind of figure out how to do the association on this screen, for instance. I know the association has been configured that we can have one-to-one, or we can have one-to-many, and so on and so forth. But now when it comes to very specific business unit or maybe a division, on this screen, when I'm now like going into individual objects, and I want to create that association to a specific object, to a specific association, how do I do it on this screen?
Okay. So here, basically the definition level only we do that, one to many or many to one. Okay. So, okay.
Is it here?
You're not from here. So here also you can see, okay. So just scroll a bit down. Okay. So in the company, also in the TU2 legal entity, just select the drop down. What is there? I would like to see that. Okay. So here you can see all the company IDs here. Okay. So if you like to default something one-to-one mapping here, okay, because you can select one here, only one value. Okay, you can do it. And similarly, just select the two DJ India, because this is some random value people have created. So do not have good data point, but ideally you will be having one company or two company depending upon your requirement. Okay. So that mapping you will be doing here. Okay. So suppose you like to default, suppose you're choosing the Western Canada, just choose that Western Canada. And from the company also you can choose something. Company, not from there. In the left hand side. The left hand side, company is there, right? Company drop down. So here also we can select something like Canada is there. Just search for something. Western Canada, best 4,500. Okay. So as soon as you click one thing, right, you automatically got another field. Okay. Suppose you are having multiple these things. Okay. So similarly, also you can select multiple things. Okay. Suppose one division is into different companies. Okay. Similar type of division you're having. Okay. Then you can also create in such a way. Okay. Now you can click save it. Okay, but more details you'll be seeing. This is just a hypothetical example. Some examples I've given. Okay, but you'll be getting better examples in your job aid. Okay, so that will be guiding you, like it will be kind of a guided. So I am just explaining you from an implementation point of view how we'll be creating these elements of it. Okay, but you'll be getting more about it whenever you'll be going to job aid, and also a couple of examples. More examples are there in your implementation guide. So I will recommend to go through that. Okay, and let me give you something now. Just a minute. I will tell you. I think almost we are at the end of this topic, and there is another thing. Just I would like to show here. Just a minute. Manage data. We have seen. Then yeah. Just a minute. Legacy data, MDF center. So let me make me host again. I will now tell you. Just make me host again. With the ending, now I will show you, and also I would like to, before to next session, I would recommend to go through this topic. Can you see the implementation guide, Central?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So these things up to this section we have covered 6.2.3. This is again all related to the configuration we have seen. Okay. So related to all this association. Now 6.3 is very simple one. So whenever you are having this kind of creating this kind of object, we'll be getting something date. Okay. So it will ask for a start date. Okay. So in the particular field, and that is basically your from that particular date. That means your information will be captured or valid from that particular object, and that is called technically effective dating. So this is the meaning of effective dating, nothing much. Basically, whenever you are creating any objects or data point, that will be the data foundation objects will be effective from that particular date. Okay. So this is nothing difficult. Other than this, the 6.4 is all about your I'll recommend to go through the objects. Okay. So previously what happened used to happen, there are different types of foundation object. Whenever I'm saying foundation object, it can be like called organization objects, how your business is structured and all. Okay. So like we are having so object type, there is a for organization objects like legal entity. This is an example of organization object because it is related to the organization. Okay. So previously it was a foundation object, but now it is a part of your MDF. Okay. So that this object type you have to remember, and now you can also read this description. Okay. So also there are some do's and don'ts. Whenever you'll go into this explanation, some key things will be coming like here, no legal entity can cover more than one country. Okay, this is also valid in whenever you are talking about the on-premise, right? If you can remember, right? Company code, regarding company code and all. Okay, so the country in the legal entity determines the country of the employees assigned to that particular legal entity. Okay, so I would recommend to go through this. It is a lot of reading again. Okay, so a lot of objects also here. So legal entity, this is an MDF object. Business unit, it is although is a part of your FO, but now it is a part of your MDF. Okay, so similarly, also it talks about business units should be always hierarchically lower than the legal entity. Okay, so it should be it is as defined. You can't change these things. Okay, so like similarly, the division, department, these are all at present. Now they have moved to the MDF type. Okay, at present only the GeoZone is a legacy one. Legacy means basically it is still the FO foundation objects. Okay. So what happened, as I was saying, a couple of objects, these are now moved to the MDF these days.
Why is division MDF?
Yeah. So why? Actually, so previously it was a FO foundation object, but over a period of time, SuccessFactors did some changes and they moved it to the MDF. More people needed more flexibility to make it more flexible in terms of configuring and all. Okay. So for that reason, they moved it to MDF. And also whenever you are having MDF, you can write the business rules and all. Okay. Suppose you like to have some kind of validations depending upon your division, department and all, then you can customize accordingly. Okay. So that is why they have moved into the MDF object. And also there are many other reasons also, but these are the key reasons. So you'll be finding same goes with the location. So location is still, it is a legacy object. Legacy means actually it is still a foundation object. Okay?
Yeah.
So you just these are actually tricky one. Even I always find it tricky because many things gets changed over a period. But this, as for the latest implementation guide, these are the thing. Okay. So whenever you're writing the certification, you have to always read the latest or the latest -1 implementation guide. Yeah, so accordingly. Similarly, when it comes to job related area, suppose I'm talking about job related area. So job classification, job function, these are different objects we do have. These are also means called foundation objects only, but the type is now MDF. Previously, these were all foundation objects, purely foundation objects, but now these are actually part of your MDF. So this is how.
What was it? Sorry, I'm just trying to keep. Is MDF, are they objects?
Sorry?
The MDF, are they not objects of their?
Actually, this is a category actually. So whenever I'm saying foundation object, this MDF object, they are different objects only. But whenever I'm saying these are actually pre-delivered. Okay, so these are actually SAP moved them to MDF. Yeah, it is not like you are creating them. Okay, whenever I'm saying purely MDF object, that means you are creating of your own a complete object. So you can see if you go to the chapter number 7, right? Okay, so can you see the screen? Chapter number 7. Right? Okay. So SAP, what they have done in SuccessFactors is a part of phased migration of foundation objects to MDF. The following objects are now MDF foundation objects, also referred to as GO. GO means your generic objects. Okay. So any organizational information configuring this. Okay. So these are actually these different FO foundation objects as we have discussed: department, division, business unit, legal entity. Okay. And they have mentioned since when they have been migrated to the your MDF. Okay, so you can see since 2014-15, some of the objects they moved into the MDF in 2015. Over a period of time, many of the things actually were moving towards your MDF. Okay, and all those things you can the validation and explanation you will be getting here, like object definition for this FOs have been migrated from CDM to MDiv. So what makes it easy now? Suppose if you are having everything in the corporate data model, you have to always change the XML and all this thing. Okay, but if you are moving to the MDF now, okay, you can easily do the changes by going directly to the configure object definition, isn't it? Like if you go to the admin center and you can type configure object definition, or you can type your manage data, you can quickly manage those things from a maintenance point of view. Suppose if it had been in the old model, your legacy model or FO objects, for those changes to for small changes, you have to always go to the XML and you have to edit them. Again, you have to export, import all those things. You have to do a lot of exercises there, right? So it makes much easier whenever you are moving to the MDF. That is another advantage, I will say. Did you get my point?
No, so jumbled up in my head.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot actually, but I would recommend to go through this. Okay, refer this implementation guide and do not read anything outside this. Okay, so there can be many materials in the Google, and it is actually all garbage. Okay, many things. Many things are there. Do not read all those things. Always read the latest implementation guide. Okay, so otherwise you will definitely getting confused. Okay, even I do get confused whenever I refer multiple things. Okay, so always refer the authentic official SAP, official document from SAP. This is factor.
Sure.
Okay, so never ever refer anything outside that. Okay, so I will recommend to go through this. It is a lot of things, I will say. Okay, but whenever I cover this topic number 6, right? Okay, so whenever I cover similar things are also there in your point number 7 and 8. Very similar things, nothing different. Okay, only thing is the same thing. So here, there also in the chapter number 6 also we went to configure object definition. Here also same thing, configure object definition. Okay, nothing different in your technically. Okay, if you refer, just to go through it. Okay, then I will recommend whenever you are coming to the next session. Okay, so 6 to 8 you complete everything, and then if you have any question we will discuss. Then I will be start discussing your workbook. Okay, so success factor employee central workbook I will discuss. So after that, another 1 or 2 sessions I will take depending upon your queries and all. Okay, so then I'll be giving an we will just stop there. Then after that you can officially will stop there, but as you're learning, you're starting the learning of your own, then you can always as you move on, then you can just note down all your questions, and we can discuss those questions as and when required. Okay. Then we will stop here. Then looking forward to day after tomorrow. A little bit again.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Have a good day. Bye bye.
You too.